Welcome back, everybody. We're here at the Bally's Casino and Resort. We do have some League of Legends going for you underway. I am Rivington III, alongside Freak here, as we give you some League of Legends as it has started today and this Saturday of the IPL 3 Origins. A ton of StarCraft and League of Legends going on this weekend. We've already had two awesome matches, and a third one actually played earlier this morning between Epic and Rez, or V8, if you will, as they have changed their name. Epic was able to take that game away from them. We have had CLG go up against Goose. CLG was able to take that one as well in their game, and we just had TSM versus Complexity. We just watched that. Seems like we've had a lot of 2-0s today. TSM was able to take Complexity. Those strong teams that have always been in the light are really showing that they deserve to be there. So we'll have to see one of those teams that were changed over. We do have Rock Salad now. Dignitas versus Curse, who was recently picked up as well in name change. So we'll have to see what these guys can really produce in a game.
Yep, and we're pushing through into Champions Select right now. Dignitas starting out with first pick and first ban. Not quite sure what their side choices are going to be, but we are into that. And we're going to see Soraka instant ban. That's actually aimed at Curse's Liquid 112. Liquid 112 being the smart player, loves playing Soraka. That drops that one out. Yeah, not surprised. Udyr banned against Jat. Jat, actually a ridiculously good jungle Udyr. So right away, they've got targeted bans at specific players. These teams do know each other quite well. Doing targeted bans against players. There's not really these, like, you know, at the stage of the game right now, there's no, like, you must ban this champion in order to win a tournament. Like, if they have this, you lose. It's just all, like, who plays what really well, let's kill that guy off. And they're doing that quite a bit here. You see Cassiopeia banned out by Dignitas. I guess that's going to be aimed at Curse's mage player, but Nijak actually known for a really good Rise player, so we're going to see if that actually happens out here. Curse solo mid Nijak actually quite the good player. They do have the famous Blitzcrank player Double Lift, but Dignitas actually, wow, they actually banned Lee Sin against Double Lift. You'd have thought they would let that stay in there so that he could actually give them first blood by face checking Brush, but seems that's not going to be the case. Jat now with first pick. We're going to see what they go for here. Looks like we have Kog'Maw and Caitlyn, ranged AD champions being banned out. Udyr and Lee Sin, two junglers being banned out, which means that Nocturne and Gangplank likely to be the junglers here. And Amumu's in there as well. Is really a nice nest of good junglers that seem to be picked a lot. But he's taking his time. They've got 6 seconds. And there's the Zilean. First time we're actually seeing Zilean on stream. We did see that actually from Epic against V8 at the beginning of the day. Unfortunately, you guys didn't get to see that. We did a little bit. And Zilean was actually a pretty big factor there. And there's the Morgana as well. So 2 mage support hybrids being grabbed. Oh, no, actually going to go for Sona. Interesting. I think because, there's the Morgana being picked up right there. So Sona going to be the support pick for Liquid 112. Morgana grabbed by Lapaka. The Lapaka is their jungler player, so he's going to probably drop that one over to Nijaki. We'll see how that goes, and let's see what they do. So Cicero going to be replacing Voyboy for this tournament, and we're going to see what they do with this. Locust, the support player, Jat, the jungler. Cicero going to be solo top or solo mid. Scar, the other mage player. Okay, Losi picking up Ezreal, and Locust going to be, oh no, Trundle, interesting. Wow. They're kind of moving back and forth, trying to figure out what they want to play. They could go for a poke team here. We saw, CLG really like Trundle for the poke team. That might be what they're going for already. Zilean, not exactly a poke mage, but certainly has the ability to get people in and out, and can time bomb from range and do kinds of all sorts of cool stuff. So we'll see if that pans out.
I can see that Trundle going in with a time bomb on his head and just initiating a fight on somebody as he just leeches off of all their but attack, defense, offense, and the such. Yes. Looks like we do have those picks locked in. It is going to be that Zilean, Trundle, and Locust on Ez. See what they choose to do here. Double Lift and Nijaki now to make their selections as they are now, as they view each other. They don't have they somewhat have a pick coming into the game, but right now as they see the other team choose, that may alter, may vary a little bit, and they're going to choose what would best counter that or go at it in a strong form. And yes, it is a very good pick right there. That's going to be great for the amount of AP that comes out of Zilean to really help those bombs. He can initiate in a fight very well, as well as just the rest of his team, a CC from Sona and Galio in a team fight, and you pretty much have no chance to move for the next 5 seconds.
So I'm thinking Fiddle or Amumu are really good picks here for the jungler. So you could go Amumu in like AoE awesome. Spam comp, right? But with Fiddlesticks, right, neither Galio nor Morgana need blue. And so you can have, Galio ults into Morgana ult into Fiddlesticks Crowstorm, and, Dignitas doesn't have any counter-initiate here, right? They haven't picked their support yet, so they could pick up Janna. But the thing is, with Black Shield, Janna can't actually push back whoever gets Black Shielded, so that could be huge right here. And so we're going to see, so they are going to pick up their support as Janna, so that's a pretty smart choice. And Nass is being grabbed, so solo top Nass is going to be the case. Morgana was grabbed away by Curse. Looks like Element's friend me. I'll be happy to accept that. Thanks, now we're buddies. And I'm, thank you, Elements, for being my friend. And so we see Nasus again in this tournament, and again, that that W, the Wither is super strong against Vayne. Vayne's very much reliant on her auto attacks, and so you get that in there, and you can do a lot of cool things. Ezreal Janna, extremely good long range poke lane. You can really kind of jump on someone if you land that not Tempest, Zephyr from John. I don't know what Tempest is even from. Lee Sin. Yeah, you're right. It's an E. He does this. All right, so it looks like the picks are under there. We have actually Warwick being grabbed. That's the jungler here, Lapaka. Actually known very much as a Warwick player from back in solo queue. Remember that dude picks Warwick like all day, every day. So interesting. I actually wouldn't have expected Warwick here. I mean, knowing it's Taplaka, okay, that makes sense now. But he doesn't really fit the team comp necessarily. Unless they really want a bruiser. And I could see that. You give him Black Shield, he runs around, does cool things. But Warwick's going to go beast mode. He's going to jump on some guys. And they got that solo mid Zillion.
It is different because you kind of have all those alties that stack in time with each other, and then the one dude that can be suppressed. You're kind of like, all these people are stunned. I can either stun them longer or suppress this guy out here that didn't get hit by any of those.
So here's the thing, right? If actually Warwick flash ults, they can chain stun Zillion to death. And I think they're actually doing that to counter Zillion.
That would be pretty cool because obviously that would make his ult useless.
You can sort of chain AoE CC, but Zillion's probably going to get someone. But you suppress him down for the first 2 seconds, you're going to chain him out probably and just pick all those up. And as long as Janna is caught in that CC chain, of course,
he's going to be babysat by Janna. That's going to be a quick monsoon if anything happens to him.
Yeah. So you've got kind of, you can't break Warwick's ult because, he's going to get Black Shielded, or you can't break Gallius because he's going to be Black Shielded. So they have, I just love Morgana on my team. And, if it were Dignitas that actually had Morgana, you'd almost want to see Skara playing that Katarina. Skara's been playing a lot of Katarina recently, and Losisa was actually pretty much the Morgana player as well. So you've got like a nice synergy there where you can just kind of like, surprise, R buttons, and dudes start dying a little bit. So that'd be pretty cute. But we're going down the last 30 seconds of champ select. They've swapped their champions around. Jack going to be jungling Trundle. And also they've got a lot of fighters here. They've got Ezreal, with that attack speed buff, his W can buff up Nasus and Trundle for bonus attack speed. And they can really start beasting on these enemy champions. You've got Locust can shield one of them, make them increase damage. Scar can haste one of those guys. They've got a really big fighter sort of team comp. It's not AoE spam at all. Time bombs kind of are AoE, sure, but it's really just like jump in there and fight single dudes, and they could do a lot with that.
We'll have to see if they can. We are starting this matchup, getting into the load screen. We're going to see our last matchup of the day, Dignitas versus Curse. We are going to have another best out of 3, as that's how they all have been played out. So we're going to have to see if we will go to our third match of the day in our best out of 3. So far, they've been 2-0s, and all these teams have just been coming out very strong. I even believe the game Epic versus V8, we weren't able to watch that. They were also 2-0'd. V8 got taken out of the tournament. Everybody's been playing very good right now, though. You saw Complexity just playing TSM. In all those fights, TSM had like 300 HP coming out of that. They were almost won fights, but it was just the minute things that TSM took advantage of to make them win those fights. And that's pretty much what's happening for the losing teams the entire time. It's not that they're doing anything wrong. It's just the other teams are really playing up to par even more. They're just playing very well right now.
There's a lot of exceptional play this tournament so far, for sure. And this is probably going to be, like, I can't imagine this game not going 2-1 to either side. I don't know which side it's going to go to. Dignitas has been a very strong team for a while. They've really, built themselves up recently as an extremely high powerhouse. Skara and Voyboy, really their star players. In the solos, Jat's been really kind of crushing faces as a jungler as well, and certainly not to drop anything from Cutie Pie and Locust either. They've been around on the lineup for quite some time, but they really have these all-star lineups. And unfortunately, of course, Voyboy not making it out to this tournament, replaced by Losisaro. But guys got a good Nasus under him, so we're going to see how that plays out. We see Curse. They've also been around for a while, have been a scary team. And here we go. We are into the game. Dignitas going to be blue team spawning in the bottom left. They're going to get ready to go. We got Curse in the top right. Jackie going to be on Morgana, and it's go time. What are you laughing at? Go time?
You don't see the chat box. Anyways, we are going to have this going out. Looks like Galio has gone with the jungle build, the safe jungle. He's going to get that cloth armor, 5 pots, but obviously not in the jungle. That's going to help him sustain in lane. That's an extra 1,000 HP that he's going to be able to have over time by pumping those pots down. And actually a nice feature that was just added is you can't double consume a pot. They will stack on top of each other and be used. So you can kind of not have to worry about that in lane. And it helps a lot right now because each one of these bars that you see over the champions' heads is 100 apiece. So if you just lost 2, you can take a pot, know that's going to be up back to full 4 bars if that's what you were at. So right now, those pots are really going to be helping to sustain in lane, and actually a lot of Dignitas has gone for the Cloth Armor 5 pot. 2 of them have the rest, the boots and the pots. Obviously, sustain in lane. You want to be able to stay in lane as long as possible. More experience, more chances for potential kills, potential ganks. It's really overall just the best thing you can do is stay in lane as long as possible and back when you're going to lose the least amount of XP.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to see these setups right here. We have actually kind of interesting. They're actually doing a swap right here, double lift on Vayne, teaming up with Sona up top. They're going to do that same things before and try to zone out that Nasus.
Yep.
And wow. Gal's going to be 1v2ing against...
Nasus might go bottom.
Oh, wow, it's going to be a double swap. That's hilarious. They're both singing the same thing.
Wow.
That's pretty smart. I like that.
Galio versus Nasus bottom.
Yep.
Ooh, blue push? Maybe? No?
No, they're going to sit in the brush. They're going to try to gank if they can. Yeah, Liquid sees what's nearby, sees nothing, and they can just jump this Ezreal for some easy damage early on. They can jump out, burst for about 150, and then maybe back off. And, of course, Janna, a non-sustaining support, extremely powerful champion, but doesn't heal her teammates without that ultimate. So there's some interesting things there. Now, Sidco actually being very, very afraid, wants to see where the enemy champions are, playing very, very safely.
Oh, this is fantastic for them because Cutie Pie is thinking they're in the top bush, so he hovers the bottom bush a little bit more. It's exactly what they wanted. Very well played in the mentality of Curse there to do a little bit of starting damage. Janik does not have the constant heal that you can get from Sona, so that damage is going to stick for now until he starts using pots.
Yep, and Jack is going to go through this jungle even more, doing a lot of damage here. Had some nice support from Zilean and Janna, his teammates, giving him shields and such. And yet, here's the fight. Double lift and Liquid 112 staying at top lane, last hitting minions. They're against Janna Ezreal, and that could be scary.
Wow, they're just going straight at it. Sid, TKO, and Cicero actually hitting back and forth. Cicero taking quite a bit of damage there. The top lane getting pushed as well. A quite aggressive double lift, and Liquid has Dynamite Jackie doing a very good job of staying in the face of Skara and not worrying, playing very patient, understanding the timing of his bombs and getting it off on the last second. So Black Shield takes it, and then he has a little bit more after as well.
Yep, let's see what else they're going to do. They're going to drop down these minions as best they can, getting a little bit low. Double bomb goes off. Scar getting a lot of gold out of that. Good play there. But Scar is now running out of mana. He's going to be a little bit careful. He's going to recall immediately. Probably pick up a mana crystal. See how much money he's got. A Zilean, yep, 463. Probably a mana crystal.
Bam.
And yes, I got it right. Go me. Double lift. And Liquid pushing through at the top lane still. Both teams pretty close in gold. Curse slightly ahead, but they've been pushing, so that's going to kind of cause that. Caesar actually back to his turret. Last hitting quite well, though. You're going to see then when he's not harassed so hard, he's getting a lot of last hits here. Already at 7.
Bottom lane, Nasus back to his lane, trying to get those Qs off. The turret taking a few of his kills. Mid lane are both at 100% HP. They will be able to just go at it right now. Nobody really trying to attack each other. They're going in. There's a bomb from Skara. Jackie will probably throw the shield on her. Actually let that damage tick. Doesn't really need to worry about the shield.
Yeah, did shield at the exact last second. Didn't even see the animation. Just knows the timing so well. Pushed to his turret. Some pings off in the jungle, nothing to be afraid of just yet.
Yeah, nobody went for fast jungle anything. They're kind of just doing their own thing. You know, Jat has double buff. He hasn't decided to come out of the jungle yet. We'll see what skills he got maybe to go around the jungle. He does have a level in pillar at this point, at level 4. 2 Qs, a W, and an E. Bottom lane is back at it again, just farming as top lane would, just switching it up. They are just kind of doing the damage when they can, but making sure they still get that creep score because we saw what a Galio can be. Hotshot GG playing Galio.
Lapaka. He's a full level ahead. This could be a fight. He's going to jump in onto Lapaka, and there he is. He's caught him, and a lot of damage going to be dealt here. There's a nice pillar. Lapaka not in great shape. He's going to flash. One more hit to get the kill, and there's first blood, but he's been hit by that dark binding. Jet's not in great shape, but he's made it out. He's level 5, and he's actually stolen all the buffs away, so he's got a nice... Actually, his blue's about to end anyway. He actually didn't manage to refresh any of them. But wow, Double taking a lot of pain to the face. Cutie Pie about to go for the kill. He's super low, and that is going to be a kill. Locust doing a great job there. Liquid not in great shape either. Cutie Pie staying on it. There's going to be another kill picked up for Dignitas. And the Q to the face. That's another kill picked up. Nice job there. Top lane picking up 2, and the push in from Jat. And he's going to steal the red now. Oh, wow. This is quite the advantage here.
Rising Spell Force coming into play for Cutie Pie. Any other time, that would have been a regular auto attack speed. Rising Spell Force, as Freak was saying, the passive for Ezreal as he hits his skills, he does get a little bit more attack speed, and that is awesome for him. He was able to get off enough skills. A beautiful Mystic shot with his Q at the end of that one to take out Sona as that kill came up top. And it looks like they do have enough time here to back. Like they said, stay in lane for as long as they can. They're going to lose minimum amount of XP here with such a pushed wave, and they're going to be able to get back to lane safely.
Yeah, meanwhile, the bottom lane has not really come into factor in this game so far. That Ringer actually not doing too much for him just yet, but he's going to keep farming for now. And, you know, the replacement's going okay because, hey, you know, QT Pie playing AD is going all right for him.
So as a placement for Cicero, Voyboy, a very dominant character, did they place him in a different position because of that situation?
I think he's a solo top. I think Voyboy's normally a solo top. He's been playing a lot of Akali recently and things like that, so they've let QT Pie play ranged AD, and he's been taking, you know, that role for himself for a while, and it's actually working pretty successfully. You know, as we saw CLG talking earlier after our first best of 3, they said, you know, we're most afraid of Dignitas, but you know, actually without Voyboy, we're actually not so afraid anymore. But you know, there's a lot of really good teams here. I mean, Curse with Dignitas, going well for Dignitas so far, but I mean, this is really the who's who of North American League of Legends. You got Counterlogic Gaming, you got Epic Gaming, you've got Team Solo Mid, Dignitas or Curse both really have the claim to that 4th, 5th spot. Dignitas often that number 2 without Voyboy still. There's just a lot of scary people here. Unfortunately, you know, V8, Complexity, Goose, not quite, you know, up to snuff just yet, but they still put out some close games. They're just not quite necessarily at that level sometimes. They just got outplayed today. But these are going to be just some really great games over the course of, you know, these 2 to 3 here, and tomorrow's going to be ridiculous. It's really anyone's game today and tomorrow at this point.
Junglers doing what they can to make their way through the jungle. Looks like red buff will be grabbed here by Lapaka as he takes that out. No, his red buff was taken, unfortunate. Yep. And it looks like he will be forced to move on to those golems after getting the small dragons, or small dragon minions, I should say. And we will see top lane is kind of getting pushed, just kind of hanging out in the bush. In the bush together.
Nice.
In the bush. And it looks like that lane is back, but they do have a ward there to assist them if they are to creep up in the lane. They've been able to do a lot of damage. Looks like they're going to switch it up here. And it looks like Nasus is going to go top, and we're going to send to support an AD down bottom. We'll have to see how this really plays out. That Nasus was taking quite a bit of damage from Galio. Now to put that up against the Vayne with no armor mitigation, especially the true damage from the W of Vayne, I think Nasus could take a little bit more damage in this top lane.
Yep, there's the pressure coming in as we're going to keep those minions down. I think he just feels safe at this point. Because I'm level 6, I can kite this Galio, I'm okay. Let's run, you know, let's run this roamer now. Let's go roam as John a little bit. Ward goes down, dodges the Q. But yeah, at this point, with Ezreal, John, they could probably zone out this Galio. Some nice attacks there. QT Pie doing a good job. Lots of plus AD here. Actually not even ranking that W yet. Sidkill getting forced back a little bit. Has that shield on. Lapaka's nearby. They're still pushing in. Some good pressure here, actually. And yeah, they're going to use that to get themselves the dragon. That's a really good play there.
Dignitas doing a very nice job forcing him off. They know that Vayne is top and Morgana is middle with vision, so they clearly take that one. Very good job to initiate that dragon without even having to fight. And they will just head back to lane and do what they were doing. That's exactly how you want to be able to grab a dragon, just by pure positioning and not even having to use any skills other than to kill the dragon.
Yep, now Cicero can jump on a double lift. You can see the damage up is quite nice. A good pushback there by double lift, but still about to get Q'd in the face. More damage being dealt there. Has some sustain though, has health potions, and those 2 Doran's Blades mean 6% lifesteal. Means about 6 health per attack. It's not too bad right now.
It's going to help him out a little bit too. He has 2 levels above double lift. This is possibly, you know, a reason that they did the switch. They weren't really worried about it. They knew that Galio was higher, but we'll put 2 against them. Double lift, or Cicero rather, feels comfortable here, but he should not have that 3rd proc from the Silver Bolt. The Condemn, I believe, has been used. The Wither onto Vayne, and he played that perfectly. Didn't even have to flash out of the situation. Actually doesn't have flash, he has Ghost. Yeah. So he actually used that before.
Yep, did use Ghost ult, so that was pretty good, but he did burn Lapaka's ultimate, so you've got to, you know, wait a little while on that one. 47 seconds left on the ult there, and let's see if they can push on through onto this turret. Doing some good damage.
Teleport back from Nasus, nice job there.
Yep.
Going to be able to keep the lane nice and safe, and that's one of the biggest things. They actually could have lost the turret right there because their top lane was playing teleport, actually bottom lane I should say. He was able to get there in time and stop that from happening. So 150 gold thwarted globally to the other team.
Yep, Galio and Nasus both running 700 teleport, though Nasus blowing like cooldown means he will not show up to a fight anytime soon. But thankfully they have, of course, already taken Dragon, so not a big deal to not have that at this time.
Like the junglers both on the same side of the jungle, but on their own side of that top. We'll have to see where they go from here. We did just lose. Oh, no, he went back to base. I was going to say lost vision on Warwick, but that's impossible in Spectator because it's awesome.
It's imposterous.
So we have Liquid up top. Can't really do much right now to Cicero. He can just kind of do what he wants, get that third power chord up and do a little bit more damage. Cicero's not really worried about it though. Vayne coming back into lane, he will have to think about his actions now, and still getting gold for himself, so that's good. As long as he can keep that farm up, it's really going to help him, and he does just see that counter ward placed in the bush, so he's not going to be able to do much in that bush from now on.
Scar tossing out bombs. Boom. And yeah, blue buff on Zilean, kind of nice. It's pretty useful. And now John is actually coming back to support. And actually, they could do a lot of damage here because Sona can't really push Nasus away. And there's the way that they're going on to double lift. He's going to get good down. But he got good positioning there. There's a dance coming off as well, but double lift at a half health. Cicero going to take some damage, but be okay. And yeah, they've gotten double lift to half. Liquid will try to sustain, but is low on mana, so it won't be that much health being gained. He's only got about 2-3 more spell casts left. Cicero's getting more beefy.
Yeah, he really is getting pretty beefy. He was taking quite a bit of damage as soon as he got into that lane, but his level advantage is really giving him some help there with taking damage from Vayne, having his armor scale up as he levels. Everybody's does. They gain a little bit more each time, and it really affects for him because he's 2 levels over Vayne right now. And Double Lift is trying to pierce through that armor that he has, and Double Lift hasn't gotten the attack damage for.
Yep, the shield's coming out a little bit late from John. It did not block that that damage output from Vayne, but doing okay. Let's see, we have Zilean coming back towards mid. No blue as it has timed out. Morgana's there as well. Jackie just continuing to spam down. But, you know, despite the 3 kills and the dragons and such, you know, the game's not really kind of going farther away right now. It's still rather close. Scar missing that kill, unfortunately, but yeah, Double Lift could get pushed down. Liquid is out of mana. They could just jump Double Lift right now, and he doesn't have the ability to get away very easily. Cicero taking some damage, takes the last hit, getting hit by Double Lift, but they really could just go for the pressure here.
Yeah, they're being very cautious about their play. They kind of don't want to go into the ultimate on this one. Looking at Sona on the other side, she does not have Crescendo up, and she is very low on mana. So yeah, they should really initiate on this fight. Getting the Zephyr onto Double Lift, slowing him down a lot. Could have been another Wither on that from Nasus, and then they would have had all the time in the world to keep attacking her. We'll have to see what they do. Very nice job getting the roll and attack damage on. We see Warwick coming up through the jungle. Trundle is in middle against Morgana right now. Everybody's kind of just doing their own thing in lane, getting their farm up, making sure that no towers are going down, and really just waiting for that chance to start the fight. Everybody's trying to itemize and build here. Not too many items that have been completed besides the wriggles for the junglers.
Scar took a bunch of damage there. Morgana landed a great dark binding, just tossing him out with that golem buff. You see Scar down to half health. Has the Rod of Ages though, so when he levels up right here, he'll get a lot of health back. But still, it's a bit scary.
Ooh, looks like Zilean speeding up towards top. Oh, he's going to be going for blue here.
Looks pretty safe. And yeah, it's going to be another blue for Scar. It's going to be happy pants for them. And that time is going to blow up and give him some nice gold and a blue buff. So, again, both mid-champions. Oh, nice shots there by Jackie. Again, some damage output. Doesn't want to dive because, again, Scar is Zilean. You know, just ult and be safe.
That wasn't even because of a ward. That was because he knew what was happening.
Yep.
The timing in the game, Zilean went up towards the blue buff. AA could be coming back now.
Yeah, it's really good play right there.
Saw him for like half a second throughout the binding.
That was really, really smart.
Looks like Sona trying to get back to lane here. Going to be placing some wards on her way back. A very nice pink ward in the bush she just walked through. Looks like they could have some wards. No, they're pinging to put a ward, so she's going to head down there, throw a ward in that bush. It's going to give him some nice vision, especially for any ganks coming around. And she actually goes, oh, not for the 1-2. She goes for the deeper ward that would be more for the blue.
Yep, we see Nasus still fighting against this Vayne. Vayne doing a good job of harassing him down. You can see taking some pain, has the Aegis already. Vayne in pretty happy shape. Not actually any big items yet, though. Look at her current gold. Vayne up to 1,500, so soon a BF sword if she's saving for it. Nasus just going to continue last hitting, but really could keep pressuring Double Lift. Maybe he's found that Double Lift is just too good at getting away from him. I'm not really sure. But, you know, if it were me without any sort of context, I would just keep trying to harass that. But Cicero continuing to go for last hits here, just picking off these minions, using that Q. You can see it's up to plus 210. 70 minions.
Everybody's pretty much just moving out of their lanes. They see the dragon has spawned. And you can see Vayne has come all the way from top to leave Nasus alone. She's going to be taking middle. As you can just see everybody kind of accordion, just squeezed down to the bottom from where they were. The fight about to be initiated. Contaminate going down. We do see the ward teleport coming in. They can see that. Looks like they get the Wither down onto Warwick. He's not going to be doing too much damage there. He also has not used his ultimate. There it goes out, suppressing a lot going down. They are forcing Cutie Pie out of this fight. That AD cannot help. And Jat is just taking a lot of damage. They finally focused down Vayne. They were pushing her around the entire fight. And it looks like like they will now focus on the Paka as they begin to spread out here. They're spreading themselves out thin. They got to be very careful. Alone, Skara doing quite a bit of damage as they chase him out of the battle. Finally, well, the Paka goes down as Warwick, and they are going to continue to push. I mean, look at Jat. Jat isn't even afraid. He still wants to get into this fight.
Skara in the middle. Sidco, oh, nice damage there on a Cutie Pie. Cutie Pie's going to jump in on a Sidco. Sidco can almost get the kill. Will not quite get it. 14 health on Janna. Cutie Pie picks up that kill just in time. And, you know, we were talking earlier about getting Trundle against Soraka. It works the same with Galio, that armor MR buff. The problem is he cast it before Galio actually used Bulwark. So, you know, he still had a nice amount of armor MR. You saw Galio was alive for quite some time. I mean, they won the fight anyway, so who cares? But, you know, that small sort of increment of armor and magic just can be gained by waiting a little bit for that Bulwark usage. But either way, great play so far from these guys. Dignitas up 6 kills now, 23,000 gold versus pretty much 18,000 gold. So 5K to the lead, and that's a pretty big deal.
So far in the lane game, everybody playing amazing. It seems that the team fights now kind of going in the favor of the Dignitas team as they came out really strong on that fight and they continue to push through. The lanes, however, no turrets have really been pushed too hard right now. They're continuing to stay solid in lanes. So it's the fights that are really coming up, which is odd because usually you see a bit of global gold before those type of fights. So these teams are just, their lane games are, you know, top notch right now. And it's really going to come down to who gets taken out in the river for that first push.
Yes, indeed. And you see Galio just staying about. Look at this build. It's like cloth armor, health crystal, mana crystal. I want stats now. And we'll eventually combine them into real items. But for now, just like spamming stats right now. Sidco trying to keep alive for his team. They do have the ability to team fight quite well. Again, those AoE ults are super powerful. They got a lot of them down, but you know, Dignitas is really great at sort of picking out the single targets. You saw that Skara got his ult off on himself right before that Warwick ult. So Warwick basically blew his ultimate on a champion they could have killed instead. As soon as they saw that blow, and they could have went for maybe Ezreal or Trundle even. I mean, Trundle's still not that farmed really. He could be killable.
Wow, very nice CV coming around the corner there as they try to get into position. That was awesome from Locust there. Sona gets found out, trying to come in with the crescendo. It looks like they will continue to farm top. Ezreal and Galio still bottom. Different little meta switch-ups we've seen throughout this weekend, or first day rather. And we are going to see how they can continue to push this lane. Getting that third proc off, very nice damage from Vayne. Looks like Trundle and Warwick both in the jungle, not trying for any ganks right now. Like I said, this solid lane play just continuing to go back and forth. Everybody's just poking each other, but it seems like nothing's really being accomplished.
Yeah, they're pretty much keeping themselves nice and healthy. Cicero still spamming down these minions. Does have a Philo Stone right now, going for, looks like Sheet next, and here he's off on a double lift. This could be a lot of damage. The E goes down. He's taking some pain, but he's going to get sustained back by Sona and just push on back. But the thing is, double lifts condemned costs 90 mana. He can only do this like 3-4 times and he runs out. So if I were Cicero, I would keep doing this. I would make him waste all that mana. And there it is again, and that's still on quota for 5 seconds. He's going to keep going into this. There he's going to ult and tumble, but he's still okay. And, you know, now his contem is back up, but he's blowing another cooldown. He's got a minute left on that one. And this is just, you know, yeah, Cicero spends some mana to do so, but he's got Philo Stone. He's got that regen. He can make this happen again. And there, Jat's going to find him again. Locust is there. He's going to get stunned to the wall. But again, that cooldown is now up, and they can really press on a double lift. Some damage on the Locust, but this is looking good.
Here. They are going to get a lot of damage on this turret. That Nasus is going to be able to Q every so often. Trundle doing a good amount of damage as well. And it looks like they will be able to take it. Yes, they will. That Q bringing up a huge amount of damage, which would have made Janna take at least one more shot. That lane is now pushed in. A great job here by Dignitas, able to take down the first turret on Curse. Double lift doesn't want any more to happen there, and he wants to show that he's still trying to be aggressive. But only Sona below him is still a pretty scary situation. They could be taken.
Yeah. Okay. We see Ezreal trying to last it against the turret, doing a pretty decent job of all that. See just zillion spamming those time bombs. All the players just going for gold, going for gold.
Going back for blue. Looks like that ward has actually wasted that they had right above them. They're going to be able to get this blue unscathed. A little bit of damage to Trundle, but nothing huge. They're going to get out of that one alive. Looks like Galio going back down to just farm. That's exactly what he should be doing. Really no need to initiate in a fight right now if you don't have to force, or if you have to force it. So they are just going back to lane. Skara back to middle, now has blue again, and then Nijaki rather, has blue himself. And it looks like Locust to go around and start placing some wards for his team. They need to, both of these teams are pretty much like mirror warding each other. It's pretty cool.
They really are, yeah. Let's look at the ward control here. Blue team, they've got one aggressive at blue, one aggressive up top. Meanwhile, oh look, aggressive at blue and aggressive at bottom. Yeah, they really are mirroring, you're right, Riv. And it's really making it very hard for them to press because they can kind of see these ganks come in. Nijaki getting a black shield. It's going to be early enough that time bomb should tick first. And yep, black shield blocks most of it.
I see Sona coming up behind here. Probably nothing really going to happen. Doesn't even have to throw out a heal. I believe Morgana is down. Who's healing? Yes. Talking to myself as well.
Nice.
And they have a Wither down onto Sid. Could they get some damage here? He did put Bulwark on, but wow, a nice Q coming out of the hands of the Cicero. Trundle could not make it in time. Just a little too much distance. But look at that, less than half health. A few more attacks would have been an easy dive for them. So he's got to be very careful. We probably see Galio start to mitigate that damage now and start building a lot more defense. We can see he does have his cloth armors going for that frozen heart in the end, but that MR is really going to help him to stay tanky and do a lot of damage as well in the fight.
And they're using Nass as a turret killer. Look at that. He just shows up with Sheen and his farmed up Q plus 303 at 21 minutes, and he's just like, oh, is it a turret? And just like destroys its face. So that's 2 turret kills, both headlined by Cicero. That's actually proven to be really powerful for them, where, you know, okay, yeah, we're farming, we're kind of farming some more, oh god, he lost a turret. And, you know, normally you're not really afraid of like, oh, 2 people show up, we kind of have time, we can push back in. No, he's destroying turrets really, really hard. And it's working quite well for them, because, you know, they have Zillion, who's really hard to gank, they have, you know, Ezreal, Janna, who are very safe as well, and they're actually building advantages that way, which is very interesting. I've really not seen that sort of play style, where they're kind of doing this, like, these semi-siege, where they're like, we're gonna lane, but by the way, turret kill.
Yeah.
And it's working quite well.
There's also, Nasus has a pretty good build. He also has an Aegis to help out the team, as well as starting to build that Trinity for us. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage, as well as assisting the team with that aura as they get into these fights. Good damage there onto Liquid. He is forced to kind of head out of that situation as no one else is there to babysit. And they are going to focus a little bit of damage on mid. They will push that out quite hard. And it looks like they're going to push bottom, possibly. No, it's actually timing the dragon attack. Here we go. Bam.
There it is. Dignitas about to go for their 3rd dragon, I believe. They're going to get caught, so let's see what they can do with this. Purple teams, they see them, and they're going to push on through. And here's the pressure. Galio's in front. They have the time to try to take this. Can they get this? Nope, they were going to drop that one, but here comes all the AoE damage out, but Liquid is low. There's a nice ult from Locust, who will drop down. Lapaka is low. Jat is low as well. Double F now getting fought by Cicero. He's got to be afraid of that one. He's kind of alone. Could he flash up the wall? He can. PewDiePie picks up the kill into Lapaka. There's a revive from Scar as well. So they're still in decent shape. Nightjacky running away. He's got Black Shield on. There's the puddle. He's trying to get away from Jat. There's some more flashes. Janna with a nice knock-up. Gonna get the rest of these killed. Nightjacky getting low. That Bulwark is not enough. He's gonna drop down. There's a kill with the time bomb. And now up onto Sidco. Sidco not in great shape. Only one of 2 alive right now. 145 damage crit. Vayne still pushing in mid. Double F getting some minion kills. Maybe gets a turret out of it, but he's gonna get caught right now by Janna Zillion.
Very nice attack there coming out of the hands of Dignitas. They are going to wither onto Vayne here as they come into this fight, condemned backwards, but hit into his team / side of the wall. And an absolute red bar of health does not mean you're alive. And that's what just happened to Vayne. Vayne goes down quite quickly there. And that fight was kind of like Dignitas ran away from an entire creep wave in middle, signifying they were going to Dragon. That really could have been approached a little bit better by Curse, knowing that was exactly the situation.
Yeah, they went in. They just did not have the damage up in the fight. Vayne got caught by Nasus. That was a huge deal right there. They forced her to flash over the wall. Once Vayne is out of the fight, I mean, that path to get back in like that takes forever. It's really not going to work that well for you. And so then they just kind of got to clean up 5v4. You saw that they actually killed Lapaka just with the damage output from mostly Ezreal. You look at this build, and he's just not that durable yet. I mean, his armor is 103 ain't bad. You know, he's got 130 magic resist. He's got 1600 health, but like Ezreal's like way up there. Ezreal's got Trinity Force, BF Sword, cooldown boots, like level 14. Like he's like way up there in that game.
Continuous farming going on by both teams here as they make their way back to middle. Cicero and PewDiePie looking to make quick work of a turret, but they don't have any minions to go with, so they're going to be clearing that wave as they head down towards, no, just toward mid. So they're continuing, even Nasus just continuing to ward. He actually has 4 wards. Wow, it's not very often you see like everybody on the team continuing to buy wards. Janna has wards, Trundle has wards, he has a ward and his Wriggle still, and Nasus has 3 more. So Dignitas on top of their game, doing things they need to do, plus and then some. Everybody is really contributing right now.
Yeah, absolutely the case. Here we have Ezreal fighting Vayne. I'm pretty sure Vayne, even though she's normally a really good 1v1er, I think Ezreal's so far ahead that he can just like kind of, oh yeah, look at that damage output. There's the E, there's a jump forward, another attack, and wow, double F is so low. That's a dive in from Janna as well. A great job here, and they actually kept the turret alive. It's theirs. Like Vayne was going for it, and they were like, and baited with a low health turret, and now that's gonna let them do Baron. That's really smart. Wow, they pick up the kill. It's a 5v4, but they could go for it. Nasus can always TP. Yeah, his summoner teleport is up, so you know they're gonna get harassed. I mean, this could be a turnaround. Honestly, Curse could make this because they do have their ults, and they're gonna probably go for this. Liquid getting owned. It actually whips the ult entirely.
Galio ulti flash in for Morgana. No, LeCicero pushing Morgana out of the fight. No ulti coming out of the hands of her. And it looks like they will be able to get this one easy. LeCicero should not have deterred Nijaki so much, especially with the Galio ult going down. But I guess the team wasn't in position. It's a lot easier to say than do. And they were kind of on the other side of mid. There was also a Baron to be had after that. So they really had to play their cards. And it wasn't in their favor, unfortunately. They were forced to back off of that one. But a great job by LeCicero. Even though the fight was going on, he knew he could stand in front of everybody coming from Wraiths and stop him. And they stopped Morgana. And that would have been a big ultimate along with Galio.
That's absolutely true. So, nice job overall making this one happen for them. Yeah, I have to say, there's just some small mistake here with that fight. Like, they had the 5-on-4. They could have gone in while they were still fighting Baron, and it just didn't quite work for him. It's just, it's too bad. Of course, Naxxus could TP in, so they could 5v4 in Dignitas' favor, certainly. But it seemed like, Sona kind of got in there and got caught because she wasn't really behind her team. Galio ultimate Morgana was far away. It just seemed like, certainly I think Dignitas did a really good job of separating them, of actually jumping on the available targets. It wasn't like they just threw away kills at them. They actually took the ones that they could get. But I just feel like, at this level of play, there must be some kind of better coordination that was available to Curse that they just slightly dropped the ball on. They could have done a little bit better at. It's a little bit too bad. But Dignitas not even having a death yet. Now up 12,000 gold, and they're almost getting ready to push right now.
Yeah, they're playing an amazing game. I don't believe they have lost a turret yet. No, they haven't. We are 26, now 27 minutes into this game. Bottom turret actually was being
Finally
covered.
Just now.
Yep, and there we go. It looks like it's going to be a one-on-one. Vayne. Vayne passive is to run away.
Nice.
What? Oh,
that was a good
wow.
move.
The Cicero juked. I think his ankles are broken. He cannot catch up to that one. And it looks like Doublelift is going to make his way out of that. The CV is going to reveal where he is, but there's really no point to chase on that.
Oh.
And the fight down towards mid-turret here. A very nice bomb. Sidco could not make it out alive on that one. The Dark Binding goes down onto Jat, not doing too much damage. They don't have a minion wave with them, so this is pretty much going to be a poke and hey, what's up game. We're just going to stand here at your turret, and they will be able to get a Naxxus pushing bottom as well. So the split push now to come into play, playing on the mentality of Curse.
They're going to push on through. They see jumping on an Nijaki, doing a little bit of damage there. Spell Immune now. Locust not in a good place. The ult only on one target though, and of course he can be revived by Zilean. No problems at all. So an unfortunate. Oh my gosh, that's damage. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye. You've very much died, Doublelift. I'm sorry, but that one's going to hurt you. And they're going to push on through onto the turret. Scar taking some turret damage. Going to be okay. They're going to keep pushing on through. And that is the surrender. So that's going to be GG. And Dignitas taking that game pretty strongly.
Very strong. The Curse was saying you were getting double pushed right now. That Naxxus was still able to farm. They switched it up and tried to play the different lanes, but they actually ended up sending what they didn't want, bottom.
Yeah,
so they could have, would have cost them a lot, but would it have been better for them to re-switch it back up? It is about 20 seconds that they would have lost lane XP, but it would have facilitated what they wanted in the beginning. So originally they had to deter from their main plan.
I don't think their lanes were that bad. I think, not switching was probably okay. Certainly Galio can't really kill an Ezreal once Ezreal's high enough up that he can sustain. But I think it was more just in the team fights that, I think the comps were fine. I think that the lanes were okay. I think the builds were all right, but they couldn't make the fights happen the way they wanted. And I don't know if it was just like really, really good positioning from Dignitas, but like I remember, there's the 3 kills at the very start of the game where they just like caught, the Ezreal Janna just caught Sona and Vayne at the top. They had caught Galio, or the first blood. The amazing push in from Jat just like set the tone for the game. He's like, I'm a level ahead of you, and I just killed you. I'm gonna steal the red from your jungle. And he just like dominated that first fight. Warwick basically flashed away late. He thought he could get away, but he walked around the pillar instead of flashing it immediately. So he got caught. He dropped down. Morgana did not support in time. Just couldn't quite get there. Just ridiculously good moves from Jat there. Set the tone, and then immediately solo top is like, oh my gosh, damage. Blah. He just dropped that kid.
Yeah. And amazing to see is something you never see is, not to say anything about CRS that they did play badly, but 0s and 0s on either side. No kills or assists. Obviously, if you're not getting kills, you're not going to get assists. But at this level of play, for Dignitas to be able to pull away from each fight, understanding that they can go in with 100 HP, but not be the one that's going to be focused. Because they did that a lot. They continued to fight. We saw that Jat went in with less than 300 health in a few fights right after Dragon. So they played very smart, the mindset in the game, understanding when the abilities of their opponents were being used, so they could come out and they could continue to punish once those abilities were not used on them.
Yeah, extremely strong play. And you can see even, some innovation there on the builds as well. I've really not seen this Naxxus build very much, but it's like Ninja Tabby, Aegis Sheen, I forget the name of this one because I never buys it. Elisa's Miracle and then Frozen Heart. It's like, I understand how all those items work. I understand like those are all really valuable, but like who sees Frozen Heart Nasus that often, right? like I understand he doesn't need offense items to deal damage, and that Sheen's there for obvious reasons, but like that actual build is not one that you see very often. Especially the dodge boots is a really smart choice because he knows he's going to be most afraid of Vayne, just built pure like anti-physical. Because Gallia's going to do some incidental damage, Morgana's going to do incidental damage, Warwick's going to do a little bit of incidental damage, but no one's going to actually like burst him as a mage. So he's like, I don't need MR, I'm just going to anti-Vayne, and it worked really, really well. Yeah. And so we're going to kick over to a commercial as we get ready for game 2. So stay tuned. See you after this break.